93.9 WKYS, Marky Marc, who you with? Around the way today, we got a legend, a pioneer of the community. He really from here. It is my pleasure to introduce
Curtis Malone.
Curtis Malone. What's up,
right.
Mark?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed. It's always an honor and a privilege to be able to interview family. And not only interview family that has done so much for the community, has done so much for others. But before we get into the book, before we get into the career,
yes, I
just want to say, how are you feeling? How I feel to be home, how to feel to be back, and just how have things been for you over the last couple of years?
Everything's been great, man. I mean, the transition been smooth as it can be. You know, I'm blessed at the end of the day, so it's been good.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, a lot of people just get straight into, you know, what you looking forward to doing and what's next and what's this and what's that and what's this. It's like, do you ever get a chance to like genuinely call Curtis and be like, hey man, how you doing, man? How's your family? How you mentally? This how are you in general? And I feel like we never get a chance to talk to each other in that capacity to find out how we really feeling.
Yeah, I don't get too many of those.
Yeah.
Even when I was away, you know, I was still getting calls. Can you send me money? Can you, so I never really had, I got a lot of great people who do that, but I'm still getting hit over the head, and I got to remind people, bro, I don't, fam, I don't have it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm human, and it's crazy that, as you can say, that one of the most cardinal rules is like, don't count my pockets.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And with that, it'd be like, don't count where you think I'm at in life because of what you see on the outside.
That's right.
And all the good things that you think that I've done or may have done or whatever you think it is, just let it ease out.
That's right.
So before we get into the later part of your career, like, how did it all start for you? Like, what was your dream? Because you helped so many people out with their dreams and accomplished so many things. Like, what was your dream growing up, and how was life for you growing up in the area?
Well, ultimately, my dream was basketball, like most kids. But again, I realized that wasn't going to happen. So I went away from that and started coaching because I felt like I wasn't a player. I wasn't a good enough player. So I felt like, let me change some lives because, again, back in the 80s when, Washington, D.C. and the DMV was out of control, and in the early 90s, I caught a bad break then. Yeah. So I wanted to change lives. But my ultimate dream was to be have my own sports management company and, sign a lot of these kids under my company name, and those dreams just didn't happen. I got in it, and it was a good thing, but I wanted to have my own, which never really happened.
Yeah, and that's one of the toughest things because, like I said, in this area, from us growing up here, it seems like you only got two options for real.
Yeah,
and it's like you either gonna hoop or you gonna go to the streets.
Yeah.
And it's a thin line between both of those. And sometimes they like offense and defense. You get a chance on both of them. You just got to pick and choose which one you want to do today and how you going to make it all mesh together.
That's right.
So what age did you realize, like, all right, cool, like, basketball ain't it. I know it ain't it. I love it to death, but even though I might not make it to the league, there's still a future in the basketball. Like, what age was this? Middle school, high school? Because like that's the toughest thing for us black men to do is let go of that dream of like playing ourselves.
I believe college. Early on in college, I realized it. You know what I mean? So it didn't take long to figure it out. You know what I mean? But like I used to tell kids that I coach, even though you play the game and if you're successful, the game you ain't gonna play it long. If you're a pro or NBA player, you might play to you 25, 30. If you're good enough, a lot of them not good enough, but, the ball stop bouncing. But if you get into coaching, you can coach till you 70 or 80, So I felt like either I'm going to get into coaching or I'm going to get on the sports management side, which was my ultimate goal.
Cool. So we right there. We in college. We finally decided, all right, cool. You talking to yourself like, all right, Kurt, we know this ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying? It got me the way it got. I learned a lot of things. I met a lot of good people in the way. What was that first initial step for you getting into sports management or getting into coaching?
Well, the first step was I wanted to coach. So I went away from playing. I realized I'm going to retire. My NBA dream ended early. So I ended up starting and creating my coaching career, which I started coaching at a rec center first, and then we started D.C. Assault.
What rec center was that?
I started at Columbia Park Rec over with Lynn Byers and where he's from, Jay Byers and Troy Weaver.
And it's crazy, like, because they try to make it sound like Lynn Byers was like he was around 80 years ago. But it wasn't that too long ago when Lynn Byers was around. And I got to ask you just one question off the strength.
Yeah.
Was you good in basketball?
I was okay.
All right, cool. I'm glad you kept it a stack, man.
Okay.
Because some of these coaches, you be looking at them like, you telling me how to shoot a job. You ain't probably never been on the court.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't toot my own horn
but
too much, you know,
yeah.
and I let a lot of other people make that decision. You know what I mean? So when certain debates come up, a lot, you know, some things my name are thrown up in.
Yeah.
I was a pretty good point guard, I thought, you know, but, you know, again.
Things happen.
My hoop dreams didn't last, man. My mind was on something else.
I'm already shocked. If we gonna get to that, I just want to answer all the questions because, like, I'm from here. You know what I'm saying? And I remember the impact that D.C. Assault had on the area. And I come from an era where it wasn't a whole bunch of teams to join.
Yeah.
Like, it was just county ball. This is before AAU was even a thing.
Yep.
Like, everybody played on they local rec team, they local community team. And I remember coming in the gym, and this was old school. Like, I'm talking about, like, 60, 100 kids. You come back the next day, and you got to look at your name on that list.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is like, you late to practice, you cut. You know what I'm saying? It was structure, and it was rules to playing the game. So when it came to DC Assault, how did you come up with the name, and what made you take that initial step to be like, I want my own program, this is what we going to call it, this is what we found it from, and just how did it all come into fruition?
Well, we started with the team out of PG County called the PG Jaguars. Miss Tillman gave me a chance to coach.
I never know PG Jaguars was the original DC Assault.
Yeah, it wasn't original. They had their own program.
Yeah, okay.
But from there, we started our own team. And the way we got the name, there was a shoe called Aerial Assault that came out, didn't last. Good friend of mine, Mike Brown, got our team the shoes. So we like, what we gonna name the team? So we named the team Team Assault. So that's how the name, it was a shoe that came out.
I never knew that.
Yeah, so the shoe didn't last, and we didn't last wearing that shoe because it didn't last. So from there, whatever shoe. So DC, when we went to Adidas, we were Team Assault. Adidas was like, we want to put the name on the jersey where you're from. So they made it DC Assault instead of Team Assault. So when we were with Nike, it was Team Assault.
Right.
When we first went with Adidas, it was Team Assault. But when we finally signed our deal with Adidas, they made the name DC Assault.
Oh, that's clutch. It's crazy how things, like, you be thinking, like, even, like, when you start in the company, you like, what we gonna name this joint? Like, which I think, you know what I'm saying, DC Assault fits so perfect. I don't know, because on the back end, looking at all the great things it's done, but, like, DC Assault fits it. So can you tell me about, you got DC Assault.
Well, people thought we were named Assault because we used to terrorize people. So, you know, we would hear other team parents talking about, that's just what they do, assault people. Because, you know, we had gangsters now.
Yeah, now, so, facts, that's what I'm saying. But, like,
so people thought the name really came from us assaulting other teams, but that wasn't the case.
I just took it as everybody else was job, like, scary. Because I'm just like, if you from the area, like, you from PG County, D.C., we got a different swag on us on the court. We got different bop tools. We got a different demeanor when we walk in that gym. And we was raised different, so it's a lot of things that we ain't going for. And our style of play is just naturally aggressive.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? For coming from the playgrounds and just how we grew up in it. So do you remember that first team of DC Assault? Like, who was that first team you put out there?
Oh, man, that was, I believe we had a little kid, Willie Bullock, Frank McQueen, who played at Dunbar, Kevin Johnson, who ended up being a defensive end at Ohio State, Delonte Hill.
The list goes on and on. So if
Ed Sheffy, I mean, we had it was Damon Pearson, Guy Young. We had all the kids. We were getting kids from over Evans High School. So, you know, we would put together them teams, and man, they were terrible. They were good.
And how did you find all these players? Like, 'cause it seemed like if you was the best of the best, you was on DC Assault. And y'all was representing the area so good. Like, I was going to tournaments, and everybody knew, like, you looked at that schedule, like, dang, we got DC Assault today. And then this the earlier years, this not even before y'all put together y'all powerhouses. So, like, describe to me that moment when DC Assault became DC. What do you feel like that defined the moment when DC Assault became,
you know what? I believe that the early years, I believe the later years were, you know, we had a lot more high-powered names, right? But the guys that we had before those days, the early days, were the toughest teams.
Right.
Like, by far. I mean, you know, you talking about guys like Sheik Pearson and, You know, guys who were, I mean, I had Dirk Payne. Them dudes were early on. They weren't McDonald's. They were a problem.
Right.
So I had, doing that time, all knuckleheads. I mean, they was gangsters. So the new ones became prima donnas. They
See,
they were good.
You never know the
they
stories
weren't
of
as tough as them cats.
Because you always
now,
hear about your uncle saying, like, man, you thought Shorty was vicious. You don't know about my man because he just couldn't get right.
Yeah.
So when I say couldn't get right, growing up as a kid, it's a lot of adversities and a lot of obstacles you got to overcome. Yeah. So when it comes to joining DC Assault, what type of kids did you look for? What type of kids did you gravitate to? Or what type of kids gravitated to you in your program?
Tough. You had to be tough, because I felt like, my influence coming from the street was always pretty good. I always had a good respect on my name, guys. People love me.
Right.
So what I used to do is find out who the biggest dope boy in that area, and whoever the kid in that area, the best player, I know I can go get him, because when I go see the dope boy, that kid, he be like, you want him? Kurt, come on, you got him.
Dang.
You going with Kurt. So now I got all the kids I'm picking up from all these neighborhoods.
And put them together.
Because people respect and love me as a person. So, but it was tough. I had to going to Minnesota Avenue. The kids don't want to come to practice because it was hard. They want to hang on in the alley, hang over at the middle school. Guys from uptown, up Clifton Terrace, I got to go, man. I'm in the projects going to get these cats, man.
And that's what make the story even more unbelievable, and which makes it like it doesn't make sense to other people, but it makes sense to us if you know, you know. Like, to put a pause on basketball, you said you was living a double life.
Yeah.
Outside of the basketball, you going to the gym, community looking at you as a, upstanding gentleman. He could do no wrong, and you just how they perceive us to really be. Because you're doing the work, you in the community, your team's doing well, and all that. But when you when you close the gym, you're doing all that. Describe me the other life in so many words of how it was the balance of balancing the two, the basketball and the street life, and still now because the streets ain't no joke.
Nah.
So how did you navigate all that? Was still trying to keep it away from
I had to keep it away from the kids, But again, most of those kids back then, they knew who I was because of the street cred, and they know how he know Unc like that. Why Unc like him so much?
And what's crazy, it might sound crazy, y'all, but like I said, this is family right here. When it first came out, that the whole situation that happened, I ain't think you did nothing wrong because, without so many words, that's all I grew up to. That's all I grew up looking at. Like, everybody, if you from D.C., Maryland, Virginia, not Virginia, but D.C., Maryland, Virginia, you understand, most of our uncles come from the 80s, 90s, and we understood what they was doing, but, it was so normal to us that I never knew nothing was wrong with it because y'all was so much stand-up gentlemen. No matter what y'all did in the streets, y'all gave us core values that really made sense in the world. And no matter what y'all was on that side, y'all never let it pour into what we had going on. And as a kid come from that lifestyle, it's like, man, I know Unc Official. Yeah. Unc Official, Unc really be out here. Unc really be doing that. Unc really tied in. So that make the neighborhood kids, you know what I'm saying, leech on it even more because they if anybody understand the daily battles I got to go through, or sometimes I can't eat, or sometimes I can't sleep, Unc do. Yeah. So how did that make you feel, knowing that you was really in that and you and the players could really confide in you and believe in you?
It was good early on because, again, I'm when I first started doing this, I'm 25, 26, so I'm young. I'm still very immature. The toughest part is when the program start really moving and growing, and now, I got to realize I can't continue that life because now I'm putting the kids, no matter what, in jeopardy, right? So I had to make choices to remove myself away from that because I realized being 25, I didn't think the same way at 25, 26. Yeah. I'm pulling out wires of money, making sure the kids got everything.
And at 25, you still a giant kid.
I'm still very, very, very immature. But the mistakes I made later, that was the more hurtful part because, again, now I done blew this thing up. It's big now. And here I am go back to something I really didn't have no business probably going back to. You know what I'm saying?
But it's hard though, like, you know, just like for the kids, like when you know something your whole life and you got to do it out of necessity and you got to do it to make sure your family survive and like I say, it sounds bitter, it sounds crazy, but like you doing that over here helped pave the way for DC Assault and all that you was able to do. So it's like sometimes it's like a bit, you know, like a two-edged sword. It's like I be damned if I do, damned if I don't. But it teaches you so many experiences and so many things, life valuable lessons that you're able to get to your kids. So when that moment happen, and you know they come get you and you go away, like what's all going through your mind right now? Because I know it's probably a ton of emotions. You got 1,000 phone calls, and just because the DC Assault platform, they got you. You know they know how to new size it. So how was that for you, knowing when all this is like?
I mean,
going down,
I really just
going
thought
down.
it's over with. You know what I mean? Like, you know, from the day they got me, I just thought that, you know, I'm just really concerned about all the people I let down. You know, that was my biggest hurt during that time.
And how you feel like you let them down?
Well, just you going to prison. You know, I'm telling you to do one thing as a kid, and I'm living a whole nother life doing the same thing. You know, I'm over DC jail with some of my former players. How do that look? And I would never give them no drugs to sell, but they over there on a drug case. You know, so it was disturbing to me. But at the end of the day, I had to realize, too, my intentions was never bad. My intentions always been good as a man, as a person, you know, and I just did the wrong thing, you know, and got caught with my hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, and like I say, I never, it's just, you never know growing up in it, like I had so many coaches and so many uncles and my father, you know, so my father was gone for 20 years, my uncle and all of them been gone, so like, I don't know if it sounds crazy, but I never, even when y'all got caught for doing allegedly, which I did, like I never thought it was wrong. You know what I'm saying? And
well, you've been in life.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like a lot of kids from here, and it's tougher for us because it's like when you grow up to like see everything but say nothing.
Yes. And
when you gotta like when you ride, when you know you need to ride from coach from practice, and you coach go bust a little move. Like to us as kids, like shoot, coach about to feed me, coach about to make sure I'm good. If I need to stay at coach house, coach let all of us stay over here. Like we never knew that side, and y'all did such a good job of keeping that from us and molding us. And I tell you one thing, I couldn't listen to no sucker coach.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I need a coach to be like, man, what is you doing? Like, get up in me and be like, man, you tripping. Like, we don't move like that. And it was a different standard that I don't see today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the difference. So what are the main things that you instilled in your players before, and this one of the ways that you try to instill and get that mentorship and trust back into your players after going through what you had gone through?
Well, I believe that since my return, I believe that most parents of these kids, today kids, a lot of them know me. A lot of the parents knew me. A lot of kids played for me who got sons and children now. You know, so at the end of the day, they know who I am.
Yeah.
You know, they respect me as a human being, as a person.
Did that help ease the pain? Like, cause when you away, like I said, when you locked up, like, what are the emotions in it? You probably feel like, man, I let everybody down. My program about to go down. Like, I know so many negative thoughts. Like, so what in there helped you pass the time? And then was the book created in jail, or you had this idea to create this book?
No, it was done in jail, but you know, having a support system. That's why you know, instilling kids how valuable it is to be a good human being, because you can't take away from being a good person. I don't care what I do. You know, it's guys that done 20 things worse than me, but being a good human being, your family and your loved ones gonna always remember that, and the people who know you. So to have, you know, going away and having the support, you know, I was telling somebody I had 80 visiting forms on my list.
For real?
Yeah, my counselor was like, no more. Don't have nobody else send no damn visiting form in here. You know, but that came from being a good person to parents all them years and the families that I was supporting and helping, you know. So it's just you got to be a good person, man, good human being. And the character's everything, man. I don't care how you do it or how you move. So all the parents now, I think that I talk to parents, I think they do their background check. They read on the internet. But I think that when they talk to other people, the first thing they hear is, he's a great person.
Yeah.
You know, regardless of what. I had one of my kids mom, who he played in the NBA for years. And the first thing she said, you got this back. Any parent I need to call, I will call and let them know who you are as a person. She came to see me while there, but they had my back.
Cause you genuinely care. Like it's one, and I'm not a parent or nothing, but I can understand from my parent and you being a parent, everybody just like, it's no better feeling than knowing that your son is in good hands. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care how good the program is. If my son is not getting no morals, is not getting no tutelage as a man and how to discover life, because at a young, like I said, you discovered like I ain't going to NBA. So I got to twist it around and understand what else to do. And that's what these youngers, a lot of them not going to make it to the NBA. No. And it's even worse for you because you dealing with all top 10 picks who they all think they going to the league. So it's even harder to tell the person with 20 D1 scholarships and all that, like, hey, what we doing after the basketball? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And when you in the streets, like I say, it come from you. So now we in jail or incarcerated. I don't know how to use it correctly, but we away. Yeah. When is the all right, cool, I gotta get over feeling sorry for myself, I gotta get over, I can't change what happened, I gotta move forward. So when did you get that idea to write the book, and what is the name of the book, and just explain to everybody the purpose and the thought and the theory of the book that came about?
Well, you know, one thing for sure, if the average person know me, I never put my head down no day of all the years I was away.
That's good.
You know, I was raised differently. I made a mistake, and I knew I had to deal with it head on. You know, it wasn't no options with getting out of it, you know. So for me, being there, I just had to realize that this where you're going to be at. You know, I got to wait on the judge to decide. You know, prosecutor, he trying to burn me up. He want the worst for me.
Fact, and don't care nothing about all the good you doing all these seasons.
Like, you know, yeah, we know he did good, but we need to give him this 15 years. This is what we want to start with, you know, as a plea. But I couldn't keep my head down for no reason. I've never been a person to keep my head down. I've failed. I've went through things before, but I'll never tuck my tail. I'm a stand up and with my chest out at all times as a man. Yeah. Because I feel like what I did was wrong, and I'm willing to deal with and accept whatever the judge make me the time I get. But I'm ready to move forward. Yeah. You know, so a part of all this was, let me start writing my story, because now I'm ESPN and Washington Post, everybody writing their narrative. They throwing all the soda on me, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, but I felt like maybe this book could touch people, and not just kids, but adults. You know what I'm saying? Because kids aren't the only one who go out and make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like being over to jail, young guys getting 50, 60, 70 years. You know, some of them get back on appeal, you know, but that don't determine what we went through.
Not at all.
You know, that we can't move forward in life and get back on track to do some good things, because it's opportunity out here for everybody.
And if you can't do it for yourself, you could be the cause and different for somebody else. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So how did you come up with the name?
Well, the name was, I thought of my life, and that was me, you know, a double life, you know, living a lie, telling the kids don't do this while I'm doing the same thing, you know. So duplicity, you know, saying one thing and doing another. You know, but I'm living a lie. You know, the Robin Hood story. I'm just living a lie. You know, I'm covered. I'm the little guy got the sheet on over here, and then go over there and put the hat on over here. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's how we was raised. Never let your left hand know what your right hand do, because it set it up every time. Yeah. So where did you do most of your writing at? Like, was it in your cell?
To be honest, I was in the hole for 6 months.
That's what we at now. So wait, hey, KCO, we gotta get my bail.
So, you know, for me, I just said, you know what, I ain't going outside. Days they won't even let us out for rec.
It's vicious, yeah. And where you was at?
Up Allenwood.
Where that's at?
In Pennsylvania.
Yeah, man. It's been some. They seen you to the some man.
It was rough.
They sent my father to Mississippi one day. I ain't never been to Mississippi in my life. Oh yeah. And then they had him in Colorado, and they right in front of the with Jeffrey Dahmer and them at the big and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Seen as a child, like I say, you don't never know y'all. It's like you so accustomed to it, you ain't thinking about none of this. So you in the hole. You like, cool. You got the name of the book. And it's always like, even I get sometimes like, okay, I got so much I want to tell. There's so many layers to my story. There's so many things that I feel like I need to tell my story about. There's so many people that told their narrative and their perspective about it. So like, how do you narrow down like, okay, I gotta include this, and do we start off the story here, or do we tell them, all right, like one of them BET movies, like, my name Curtis, and this is how I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should have jump shot. This is Curtis.
Well, what I wanted to do, and then I had met some guys up at Fort Dix when I got up there, and they had written a couple of books. So they really took the story and they edited it and they figured it out the way it should be. You know, I wanted it written in my voice.
Yeah.
So, and they were some white brothers. So I had to make sure my voice was my voice and they not writing it,
so our people in our country understand
what I mean?
it.
So people will understand it and get a good feel for it. So I just wrote from beginning to end how I got to where I got. I end up where I was, and then how it went back downhill. You know, everything down here started, went down a little bit in the 90s, went back up, and, here I am again.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's one of your favorite stories told in this book? Like, when I go through that whole book and I had to tell somebody, I only got a little bit of time, but I got one chapter or so to read. What part of the book you wanted to put them in there?
I think one of the most important parts of my book is I had a guy that mentored me, my high school coach. His name was Ken Freeman, and he was a tough guy, and he gave me a vision of doing the right thing. He knew my background, he knew where I come from, he knew some of the people I hung around, and he would try to convince me to watch my company, which some of my OGs he knew, and I never forget, one of my OGs was at my house on Thanksgiving, and he seen him, and when I got back to school on Monday, he said, man, tell me something, what the hell are you doing with Harold Jones? But that was one of my OGs, so can't nobody tell me nothing about my OGs because they ain't never did nothing wrong in front of me. I know. They don't make me do wrong, you know what I mean? So, but he gave me so much knowledge and really put the battery in my back to want to do good and want to play and want to go to college. So it was very valuable. But then everything he taught me, I flipped it. And after I finished playing, I did a lot of wanting to help kids like he wanted to do.
And what's a quote? What's one quote that you tell your kids or you live by?
Well, this quote stick with me every day. He used to tell me, Mr. Malone, there's no shortcuts in life. Every day, that's all he would tell me. Because, see, I wanted to go to the go-go. I wanted to go see Rassens during the week. I wanted to.
Man.
Right? So it didn't matter if I had to get up at 7. If I'm trying to sneak down the High Theater, I'm going out. So he like, Mr. Malone, you tired? I'm tired, Mr. Friend. I went out like, Mr. Malone, you can't burn both ends of the candle and want to be a good player.
Well, I swear, man, the OG's got so many Dr. Seuss, man, they push you, but they be like, everything is, but as a kid, it just go from generation to generation, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it stopped with my generation because we was raised off tough love.
That's right.
I'm talking about you get it took a village. I'm talking about the neighborhood to snatch you up. Like, if Miss such and such seen you down the street or somebody like my mother and my father gave everybody had.
That's what he got.
Had, you know what I'm saying? Everybody could put their hands on me in a sense of correcting me, and we respected the coaches and we respected life and we understood how things is. So like,
he taught me. And I got to put this story. I failed an English class in 10th grade. So I had to go to summer school to be eligible to play the following year. So it was a teacher, man. We thought she was the toughest teacher in the school. And he told me, he said, you're going to go take this summer class, and when you come back, beginning of school, I see the lady, and, we saying, I hate her. I can't stand her. She mean. She don't like us. She carrying her box. And my coach, Mr. Freeman, say, hey, Miss Marky, you remember Mr. Malone? She was like, yes, I know him very well. He said, well, you know what? Mr. Malone passed the class, and he going to take your class again this year. So I had to take her class again. He said, and furthermore, every morning that box at that car, Mr. Malone going to get that box and carry it to your class every morning. But he told me how to play. You got to play.
You got to play the game.
Is a game.
And that's a lot of things. It's all about who you know. And I tell, and I can never understand for the life of me when kids used to say, I can't play because I don't got the grades.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I never wanted to do in life was lose by default. You mean to tell me that you, like you say, basketball is fourth quarter and first quarter. I don't care what you do the other quarters.
That's right.
But make sure you got a first and fourth, and then to walk around saying you can't get a 2.0.
You don't want to.
That's like, come on, bro. Like that, you don't sound cool. Like a 2.0 or 2.5, you're not even trying to do nothing. And to show you ain't as good as you think you is, because we know if you good
enough, they gonna figure out a way
to
make sure
out.
you get
You know what I'm saying? So I know two more things before we get up out of here. Like I said, you've had a lot. You've had all NBA, all Met, all Americans. Just a lot of players that come from this area to be on your team. And one thing I always said was, it always amazed me how coaches like you, your mentors, and a lot of my coaches, like, y'all catch us from kids, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us come from single-parent households or whatever case may be, but y'all the ones that feed us. Y'all the ones that put clothes in our back. Y'all the ones that take us out of these neighborhoods and put us on a team and meet lifelong friends. And then it's like, once y'all build us all the way up, it always been the private schools, the DeMathers and the McNamara's and all these that come around and take our kids and put them to the private schools, and then our public schools suffer, and then the communities around that suffer, and then like the Mathers and all of them get all the praise. I feel like if Quinn and Jern and Vic and all them would go to their neighborhood schools, the Largos and the Dunbars, them schools got to get refunded. Them schools got to get bigger programs. So what do you feel about that as far as like, did you feel like, because I feel like now private school not needed, but back then it seemed like the only few ways to get out was the McNamara's, the Oak Hills, and the Mathers, and the Montrose Christian. So what are your takes on that?
Well, I mean, like I said, when we started, our reason for sending kids to certain schools was because they really needed it academically.
So it was more so academically?
Yeah, when we sent kids to Oak Hill Academy, which we were some of the first guys to really have a relationship with Oak Hill, but we sent them guys down on that mountain because they couldn't get it done at the school they were at. But back then, I didn't never believe you had to have DeMatha to be successful, because a lot of our kids didn't go to DeMatha.
Yeah.
A lot of these schools that's around now wasn't around. There was no Sitwell Friends.
Yeah.
There was no, but the times has changed, and these parents want their kid to be safe. So, it's a difference sending them to Paul VI or Sitwell Friends up on Wisconsin Avenue, where it ain't a lot of trouble going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the disheartening part. I don't even, like I say, I heard you talking earlier with Vic, and I'm a rec baby.
Yeah.
Rec baby, the rec saved my life. I mean, when the rec, I'm talking about, as soon as you got out of school, you might ain't drop. Everybody was at the rec.
Yeah.
We played outside all day. Yeah. It's just so many man skills and life skills that you learn from the neighborhood. And the neighborhood policed each other. Like, you think you about to be on Instagram Live telling some, we go, like, it was a lot of things that wasn't even thought about you doing. Like, the OGs weren't going to let you do that. The people around your age, and it was always those ones that was protecting, like, nah, Shawty gonna do good in life. We gotta put him out the way. This one, man, that's what he do. But this one, we gonna protect that one. You know what I'm saying?
People at the rec were valuable in my life.
Yeah.
Mr. Mackins over at Columbia Park, where I coached at. I mean, his rec center was a home. Mr. Barksdale down at Palmer Park rec, where I'm from.
Yep.
Our rec was a safe haven.
And you had a boxing gym.
So either you're going to box or you're going to play ball. But, the rec centers was your home.
Yeah.
And those were your second fathers.
Man, for a lot of us, our only father.
Yeah. So, and that was another thing that made us want to do what we did, because we knew what love was like. And like I said, when I left Palmer Park to go over to Columbia Park, Mr. Mackins, rest in peace, he was one of the best people I ever met in my life. And he cared. And he knew I was a little bad. I was a little out of control. But you know what? He gave me an opportunity.
But I feel like you need people like this.
Yeah.
Like even with you, it sounds crazy. I know it do. But it makes your story 10 times better. And it's like, it pulls everything full circle. Because sometimes we don't know why God put us through certain things. And we don't know why God got us doing things. We like, I can't question this. I did everything right. I tried to do it the right way. I still get the same result. I do it the wrong way. I get it the same result. And then just like to like a kid, when they trying to get to a certain league, you might have to go to JUCO and come back. You might got to go to the G League to get where you at. But are you concerned about the journey, or are you concerned about the end destination? I feel like a lot of kids put their marbles in the final destination and lose sight of the journey. And the journey is where you get those gems and those things that help you survive in life. You know what I'm saying? Because like you going to jail at the point you thought it was like, man, I done ruined everything. I done jacked all wreck. I got to look my mother in the face, my men around. Here's still some dudes out there that I know shit. They way worse than me. There's so many thoughts going through your mind, but God needed to sit you down so you can understand, because I given you a lot.
Yep.
And I not only have I given you, like I've given everything for you to be the pillar and the gateway for others to get their dream and to become what they want to become. So how does that feel to make so many dreams come true and then have so many people just look at you as a father figure, a mentor, and you the first one they call when they going through things? We talking about some of the biggest NBA stars to some of the biggest gangsters to some of the biggest around the way. How does it feel just being a pivotal figure from where you from and making it?
I'm just blessed that so many people can count on me and depend on me, whether advice, whether pick me up, follow me out. I've always given my all, especially to family and friends. And what I built with DC Assault is my family. And with the new DC Assault right now, one of the sales I tell parents now, you're not meeting just a guy that wants your son for basketball. You got a guy that's going to help your son in life. Because the ball gonna stop bouncing. It may not even bounce at all.
Man, who you telling?
So, if you're a part of what I got going on and you call me and say, hey, we didn't get any offers to college. And you know what? Now I can pick the phone up and say, okay, apply to these schools now. I'm gonna get you to be a walk-on. So you can still play college basketball. Now you can earn a scholarship because you didn't get recruited.
Yeah. How does it feel like DC Assault is back after all these years? They've had imitations. Yeah. I mean, the team's done well. They had the team takeovers and all those. But how does it feel for like the creme de la creme, like the original gangsters, like the original DC Assault to be back? Because I'm trying to tell you, for people that don't understand, just give them a few mentions of people that didn't play for DC Assault, because I don't think they understand the people that came through this program.
I'll start with the newer guys, because when I left, there was still some guys that were still playing when I went away and had a lot of success. Like Anthony Cowan played at Maryland, Romello Trimble at Maryland, Wally Judge at Kansas State, Rodney Magruder at Kansas State, played in the league about 7 years. Quinn Cook,
Brody,
Nolan Smith, Austin Freeman, McDonald's,
Chris Wright,
Georgetown, Chris Wright, Michael Beasley,
Ty Lawson.
With Ty
didn't play with y'all?
No, Ty and Kevin. Them two I missed, but I wanted them.
So Katie never played with?
Katie didn't play with me. I thought I had him, but.
But you had Mike Beasley though, Shawty.
Yeah. I got one. I ain't get the other one, but So
and you still have close relationships with all these players today.
For the most part, all of them.
Yeah. But I know you closest. I know. Describe to me real quick, like Nolan's story, because you know what I'm saying. Nolan. You've been in part of his life a lot.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And like Nolan has a heck of a story, and he helped pave the way. I guess he got that good. I guess he got some of your ways and stuff, because he's been a big brother to like Quinn, and he motivated Quinn, to try that journey with Duke. So explain a little bit about Nolan's story, your story, how y'all came close together, and how you helped him. That was one of the original dream chasers you allowed to chase some dreams and get on.
Nolan and I met, and back in 2000, I believe, something like that, 2000, 2001, and he was a kid that I recruited. And from there, I ended up meeting his mom, and, we ended up dating. So Nolan became,
like a stepson.
Nolan had lost his dad when he was very young.
Yeah.
So me and the mom ended up marrying 2016. We ended up divorcing while I was away. But the relationship never stopped. Nolan I'm a father, I'm like his dad to him. He's my son.
That's super dope. How
grandkids.
because at the time when you went away, what was Nolan at in that situation?
Nolan was in the NBA. He had just got drafted.
Okay, so he
was an adult.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to find the time for because I can't remember who was what when you went with.
2011, 12. Nolan was in the league with Portland during that time. So and some of the others, Damon Lee still just played in the league. Eric Atkins. We had, it's so many. Tyler Thornton.
Yeah, Tyler Thornton. And the only reason why I brought up Nolan is because, like I say, just come back to your story of how things come full circle. You ever know, like, he won at Duke, won on every level, make it to the NBA, freak accident, gets hurt. But he understood, I still got other things that I'm smart at. I know the game inside out. Yes. My stepfather is job like basketball in and out. So now he's able to be a coach, and I heard we just got the job at Tennessee State. So congratulations on that. So it's just dope seeing your players. You know what I'm saying? Like them, that's a little bad, little such and such, and they finally grow up and they start becoming doctors and lawyers and businessmen and fathers and things like that. So it's just dope. I just want to say I'm proud of you, and y'all. This is a personal interview for me because I'm just so proud of all of y'all. Like I tell everybody, this is my first time in my life that all of y'all been home at once. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think a lot of people understand how it is. As a kid, seeing all that stuff around your way, and then you got to go to like a Montrose Christian or DeMatha, or you got to go to these schools where people got 2-parent homes, and they look at you a certain way. They just don't understand it, like the lifestyle or what it takes to survive. It's like certain dudes not carrying guns to sound cool, to be cool. Like these people really, this is a means for them to get home at night and to make sure everybody's safely. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some people not selling drugs to look cool. Some people got to do this to feed their families. And it's not that they want it, they have to do it. You know what I'm saying? Some smart enough to use it as a gateway to go from point A to point B. But like you say, some people get lost in chasing their dream and chasing that high. You know what I'm saying? So you one of the ones that's fortunate enough, like you say, to not get 50 years. Because when I go mentor at the jail, it's so depressing. Oh, man. Like you walk in that joint, you see people my age, your age, in between. You got killers that you be like, all right, he just like belong here. Then you got the little youngin that look just like, man, he just trying to get him some money. And then you just look down the road and you just see all the souls gone, the mind just wandering, the like they just stuck in time. Even when I'm in there mentoring it for like a long time in that joint. So I can only imagine how I feel being in there. Yeah. But
But with most of those kids who have over the jail and in prison, and you just gotta stay focused. And my biggest thing is, man, you gotta keep fighting and be willing to get back. Yeah. Because it's always mistakes in court cases.
Always.
So you gotta become your jailhouse lawyer. But the biggest part is when are they going? Some of them they don't mature till 15 years in. Then they realize I need to work on my case. But because everything is so much of a game, they don't even feel it yet. They don't even understand I ain't coming home. You know what I mean? So it's sad, but we can only continue to push the kids and the young guys to fight and continue to fight. The same way y'all fight on the street with each other. When you get in that cell and in jail,
y'all together, especially in that same car, DC car, you got to ride.
You got to be in that law library. You got to go on there and make sure you trying to get back on your case. You got to learn all the things you weren't focused on. It ain't too late. It's not too late. These guys come home after 30, 40 years. I got a
they
OG,
all coming here now.
Shit, about to come home. He been 48.
And you know how much the world done changed. If you got locked up in the 80s, it wasn't no technology like that. If you got locked up even if you got locked up in the early 2000s, you come on to FaceTime, Chat GPT, all these things. So what is the most frequently asked question that people ask me? Like, what's the question that you get all the time? Like, out of all the interviews you done, out of all the people you done spoke to, like, what seems to be the most frequently asked question that people want to know or like to pick your brain about? What's that question you always get asked?
It's most of the time it's always like, how didn't you allow this to break you down and lose your focus? And how did you get through this? Because a lot of people never been through it.
Yeah, on either side, like a family cut, none of that.
So a lot of times it's like, wow. So you just, again, I'm gonna keep my head up and I'm gonna ride with whatever come my way, I just got to be ready for it
Yes,
at all
sir.
times.
At all times. So we got the book right here. Y'all got to make sure you download it. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, Drugs, and My Double Life. It just super dope because it's around the way. It go hand in hand. You hear me? A lot of the people get on the court. I can't say that because the kid listening. But, you know, a lot of people do all that. So before we let you go, I'm going to give you the time to just promote the book, tell them where they can get it, how they can grab it. You know what I'm saying? And just everything you need to say.
Well, the book is on, right now, the book's on Amazon.com. You can also go to Barnes & Noble to get the book. Hopefully soon the physical copy will be in like Barnes & Noble and a few more bookstores in the area. We working on that. But my Instagram is The Curtis Malone. Some people say The Curtis Malone, but The Curtis Malone is spelled the. But for the most part, The Curtis Malone on Instagram and regular Facebook, Curtis Malone, you know. So you can go on any of those social media to send me platforms to send a message to me or get with me on if it's anything, you know, me to speak or whatever. You know,
man, Uncle say taking bookings. You hear me? So last few things, we're going to wrap it out. Give me 3 words about the book.
Authentic, humbling, and hurt.
Hurt.
A lot of hurt in that book. A lot of hurt.
They
a
say
lot of letdown.
They say we need therapy, boy, and some of the ways
A lot of hurt.
basketball and writing is most of our therapies.
Hurt, man, in that book. And, you know, I was telling over, you know, one of the things that really helped me and motivated me also with everything I was trying to do and work on, because I worked on some other things while there, was, you know, my wife now, you know, was so much, she was so much of a push in my energy, you know, for me to stay focused and get back out here and do the right thing.
The support system is everything in jail.
Yes.
Like, I don't think people understand that, like, and I try to tell people it's more than just a post. Like, are you writing? Well, first if you letters, then they switch to emails. I don't know which one it is now. It's still emails?
Yeah, email. They got emails and
yeah,
letters.
well, you know what I'm saying? When the last time you wrote that person? When the last time you sent them some commissary? When the last time you checked on that man's mother, that man's kids? And people don't never understand this. And it's like, yeah, when I first went away, it was all, and then what was you at them last 5 years? And then now I'm pretty sure when everybody started getting that release date and word around the city started spreading, hey, you know, Kurt about to come home. Then everybody started reaching, man, bro, I always knew, you know what I'm saying? Hey, man, let me get, you know what I'm saying? You got to deal with that, but that's neither here nor there. When it comes to DC Assault moving forward, the brand new DC Assault back on the map, the same heritage, same brand, same culture. What's 3 things you got planned for DC Assault moving forward and when you want to see the company grow back again?
Take it back to the top, win, and get kids in college, man.
That's the most important thing.
Yep.
When it comes to the youth, what's 3 things you got to say to them, or what's one motivational thing you want to push to them?
You have to stay focused. Every decision you make, you know, it comes with consequences. No matter how old you are, you know, your decision making is everything, and you have to always be a leader, man.
And not a follower. Boy, that was the number one thing we was taught.
No following.
When it comes to we did the book, we did the kids. What's the one thing that you got to tell these parents? Because everybody think they parents is MJ. You go to the games now, you got parents yelling from the stands and not letting the refs, not letting the kids the play, and the kid not doing good there. They got the luxury of taking them off here and putting them on the team down the street. That wasn't a luxury when I was coming up. You don't make that team, you're short.
Yeah.
You better try to get next. So which one do you got to the parents to be better parents, to be better, not student athletes, but parent athletes, if that word.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Parents have to lead by example, because if you know, as a parent, you act a fool, then 9 out of 10, your kid gonna act the same way. So, you know, but one thing, you know, I'm back, and I know times has changed, but it's certain things when it come to me and my character and running my program the way I will,
that you're not going for.
Certain things I ain't gonna tolerate anyway.
And let me get some of one of a few things, because I don't think a lot of them understand. Like, what's a couple few non-negotiables from a player and from a parent that you just the standard of DC Assault, we not going for nothing less? Is there a grade point average for your kids?
Well, grades are number one.
Okay.
That's a must. That's a must. But I put guys in place to coach these kids so that they are making sure these kids have all those things.
Okay.
If you're not getting it, then you need to communicate it. We got to help with mentoring, with studies, getting people to help you with your grades, studying, tutors. We can do all that. We can recommend places. But a lot of times, man, the parents just have to allow the kids to be kids, man, and let the kids have fun. If you're not having fun, man, then you need to put them somewhere else because the kids should be having fun.
They do. In Duplicity, what would you say to a kid trying to live the life you live, that's trying to straddle the edge of being in the streets and hooping? What do you tell them?
It's nothing good about that life. And, I wish I could probably have a video of what D.C. jail looked like.
Man, I think that's more field trips in the museum. You need to take them kids down there to understand. Because I don't think, we so desensitized the numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We be like, oh, man, Shorty just got a year. Shorty just got 5 years, 10 years. That ain't about nothing. I be looking like, hey, do you understand, man, a weekend over D.C. jail gonna feel like 1,000 years. Picture getting 20, you know what I'm saying? So y'all got to stop it. Like, stop tricking these kids out of position. Yeah. Stop making them think that the world is something that it ain't, you know what I'm saying? And like they got to get on it.
It ain't no place for it, and you don't have to do that. You know what I mean? For the fast money, you the young kids carjacking, they robbing, and let's be honest. What you robbing for? You probably could go get a job down at Chick-fil-A and make the same thing.
We was never taught that. Like in a sense, we never knew college was what college was.
No.
Like, I think if a lot of black men knew that college was like how college is, if you know what I know, a lot of us would have been going. Yeah. And what's crazy is you see it in all the movies, with all your OGs you talk to, everybody that hustle ain't trying to do nothing but trying to find a way to get it legit. So if you see all the dope boys and all them trying to get legit somewhere down the road, why don't you just start with the legit road and they gonna be asking you for a job? Like, I tell the youngins, I'm like, listen, that girl you think that the dope boy got or the street dude got, I promise you, if you making a good salary and got a degree, you gonna have one even better. If you think that this dude's spending money in pop, like if you got a good job, guess what? That same money gonna be there. You don't got to look over your shoulder. It's gonna be got benefit. It's just so many things of living a good life, and I'm glad. I'm hoping that the narrative of like y'all generation finally coming home, our generation raised by y'all. You know what I'm saying? We can all come together and get back to the community effort and of what we all known for us to love on each other and understand tough love sometimes is the best love. You know what I'm saying? Things ain't always gonna be easy, and I just want to say, congratulations to everything that you've done, all the people you put on, all the lives you've changed, and just like the biggest thing is you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you've done a lot for everybody else, and that's cool. But I just hope the next chapter in your life is just making sure you good, and you know what I'm saying, to rebuild your foundation and your legacy, which has never been shaped or destructive to us. That really matter. Like forget the ESPNs and the newspaper. Those that's really from around the way. We know the impact you've had, the people you've helped, and how much you mean to this community, and how you're a pioneer and a legend. Like, just thankful for DC Assault. You know what I'm saying? Just thankful for everything. And the book is super dope. I'm going to actually get me a copy, and I'm going to read it because I'm just so fascinated in this life. I don't know because of how I was raised, but like I said, I never thought your child did nothing wrong. And like I just was like, shoot, who don't? I guarantee you, if you did a poll on 100 kids from this area, about 98 out of 100, I'm like, yeah, my uncle do that. Like, for black kids, it's never been like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, what? You know what I'm saying? We just like, shoot, coach let me sit on this house. The things that matter about a person and a man, that's all a kid ever remember. Like, all them kids don't remember nothing about you going away. That don't mean nothing to them. But the nights that you gave them a chance to get on that team, whether they rode the bench, the time that you just made a phone call to a coach or listen to them, or help them with homework, or put them with their, like, it just means so much to kids, especially without fathers. So for all the kids that didn't have fathers and all the kids whose fathers are locked up and all that, on behalf of them, I want to say thank you for being a part of them, and you mean so much to them, and I'm looking forward for everything you got in the future, y'all. So that right there was the OG, Curtis Malone. DC Assault is back. You got to make sure you work hard in your craft, and don't even come out there because you ain't gonna make the team. I'm trying to let you know. I'm just being honest with you. It ain't that type of party over there. DC Assault, come the boogie. Yeah. Hey, what's one of your favorite memories from DC Assault? You got a game or like a favorite moment of DC Assault, like or basketball? Come on, you got a favorite something.
I don't know what a favorite moment.
Like an iconic moment. Y'all hit a buzzer beater shot. Y'all be the team that's been talking trash. Like something like. Too many to call.
No, I don't. I think the best, one of the best feeling memories is, when you see a kid come from pretty much nothing to his name being called. Not to be drafted and change the family life. That memory is just, because we won so many games. Yeah. Like we beat so many people, but also to be able to, my best memories is when kids getting into Harvard, kids going to Stanford.
From like, around the way.
That, we got 4 kids go to Duke. Like, those memories are so much more valuable than just the basketball itself. You know what I mean? But to see kids and to come from the projects, man, and go to college and get that degree, those were the best memories to me. Again, the basketball, we beat a lot of ass now.
I'm shocked.
A lot of buzzer beat, a lot of beat downs, but again, the success part of seeing those kids, like me coming home talking to a kid play for me, he's a dentist now. Yeah. That's what we started this thing about. You know what I mean? Seeing my best friend Troy Weaver, he's now the vice president of New Orleans Pelicans, and we come from the rec together at Columbia Park.
That's what I'm saying. You talking about like
the success, but not just the success, because everything, I think all the people were successful. The ones who went to college and I got them out them projects, that was success. Because you got some kids from over Southeast, they ain't never been off of Martin Luther King Avenue now. They ain't never been nowhere.
Yeah.
So now you changing their life, man, just seeing them, they go to Vegas. They ain't never been to Vegas. When they going to Vegas?
Man, that was for a lot of us, man. If it wasn't for AAU, like, shoot, that's the first time us ever seen other states ever getting outside the Beltway. Yeah. It was like, shoot, as a kid, I thought Ocean City was out of town.
Yeah.
I forgot. I didn't even know. Let me word this correctly. Y'all try to play my words. I didn't know Ocean City was in Maryland. I knew Ocean City was in Maryland, but I didn't think it was like Maryland to us be PG County. That's all I ever knew about Maryland. He's like walled off, and I ain't going out there. I only going between 2 lines, DC and PG. So Ocean City, see, like we would say we got a tournament in Ocean City. What we say? We going out of town.
Yeah.
Am I lying? Like
it is out of
even
town.
Virginia was out of town. Somebody say we got a tournament out in Alexandria. You like, we going out of town, coach? You like,
but let me tell you a story about me.
Okay.
I've never been to Ocean City, not one time.
For real? Because you was getting money. When I go, you know what I'm saying? When you getting money, I was like, it wasn't the first time I went to Jamaica. I was like, hold on, the water blue?
Yeah.
Well, we been swimming at down Haynes Point. Man, my mom, you wrong. All our parents taking us to Colonial Point and Haynes Point. Yeah. We swimming in brown water, Joe. Yeah. But we had a time of our life. You hear me? Yeah. That was lit. So that's how y'all know he authentic, y'all, because I'm talking about this man has produced top 5 picks. This man has produced All-Americans. This man has produced countless full-ride scholarships to most prevalent schools in the country. Do you understand me? This man can get access to any and everything. And the one thing you most proud about was just the genuine joy and the genuine just like satisfaction that this kid is going to change his lineage. He's going to change his lifestyle. And even if it's just for this moment, I allow this kid to know that the world is way bigger than D.C. You got way more potential than you ever know, and you can be bigger than I ever was, and that's just super dope. So I ain't gonna rap you long. I know how the tour been going. My bad. How the book tour like? Good. Would you ever thought like?
I'm blessed to my my PR guy Amir Boy. Shout out to him because he been making it happen. If y'all need some work, y'all better call him.
See, look, I put them plugs in. Cause I said, check out Uncle's like down there in Atlanta. I'm like, my man, right? You hear me?
Yeah.
Would you ever thought you had a book written about yourself?
No. You know what? Yeah, I did. I've always thought of a book. just because of not the bad stuff that happened to me, but just coming from where I came from. I've always thought I could write a book because, a lot of people want to hear success stories, period.
Especially now with the podcast era, and especially when you know that somebody's really been through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because is there a documentary series coming soon?
Well, we've been in the talks with a few people. Nothing yet. We wanted to let the book do its thing for a little bit.
Yeah.
But we've gained some traction. Some people have reached out, been interested in TV or doc.
What about is DC Assault gonna get a documentary? Because I feel like y'all put enough players out, y'all made enough impact on this area to have like a little mini series. Because like that, shout out to Jimmy Jenkins. There's something in the water.
Yeah.
Like now, I feel like we got the best ball players in the world. I feel like the best ball players come from this area, from between DC and PG. And there's been a lot of debate. So how do you? Thank you. So I'm sorry. I know the camera, and I hope you charge that joint and got some memory in your gigs. Just talk. Just let us know why you feel like we got the best players in the area. Because New York talks, California talks.
Well, you got to look at the size of New York and California. You look at Texas. You look at Carolina. We're this big.
Literally. I don't think people understand. You even getting people from 3 quadrants, 4 quadrants, and PG.
How many? You can put 30 DCs in damn near L.A.
Yeah.
Alone.
Because they get people from L.A., San Jose,
Fresno. We're not. So this is the Mecca, like in football too. Yeah. I mean, this is a gene, man. This place is
what you think adds to that? That makes us like one of them powerhouses.
I think the level of basketball here, even with like the AAU teams like Takeover, Durant, New World, even Premier, the teams that have stayed together, they've produced a lot of talent. But our high school basketball is really, really good.
Yeah.
And, even like the WCAC is probably the best high school conference in the country, in the whole United States. So I think that a lot go out to those guys and, what we've done from an AAU standpoint, because we put out some talent here in this area.
Man, did we? I think we put out, man, like I say, we ain't talking about it like what could have been, but like the what should have, what the was is established and like that. It is, and like you could tell a kid from this area. You could tell. I guarantee if you walked in the gym right now and nobody had names on the jersey, you could tell the team from the area. It's just that grit, that swag that we play with, and people don't understand. It's them outside battles, them 33s, and them saying outside playing one-on-one, and then when we see each other in the area, it's work. It ain't no, that's my man. Like you see that could be your brother, like my mother's son. Like if you on the other team and it's up, man, I see you after the game.
It changed a little bit now.
Yeah, it got you right.
Because the grit, some of it's still there, but I was telling someone it's a difference, man. I used to pick kids up from the projects. I used to pick kids up from Landover. I used to pick kids up from out Woodbridge, out by the projects, out,
it's everywhere.
Bogans, out the projects over in Alexander. But I'm saying now, the kids coming from $700,000, $800,000 homes.
Yeah, see, that's another thing, though.
So where the grit at? All they do is train now.
Yeah. But
they got trainers. Every kid got a trainer.
But that's one of the things. It's like, all right, cool. Like, we work hard. Y'all work hard to put these kids in position. And it's like, what they supposed to do? It ain't really no more trenches left. Like, it ain't DC ain't what it is no more. Like, it ain't, the neighborhood's gone. Like, it ain't no Surfsman quarters. It ain't no Bury Farms. You know what I'm saying? No. Like, good thing they got to at the court. Like, even Lando, it's a lot of neighborhoods that just ain't the same. And it's a lot of kids, like, good thing their grandparents done well, their parents done well. They just don't have to have that's, it's like dang, like I understand where you come from, and I hate it.
It's not their fault.
It's not. That's what I'm saying. It's not their fault.
Times change. But what I'm going to do with DC Assault, the grit got to come back.
It got to.
So whether you in an $800,000 house, $1 million house, your child got to be ready to be. But
I will say, devil's advocate though, it is some youngers from the suburbs that'll go. And there's some youngers from Earth that ain't.
It's players everywhere, because again, most of those kids who go and move out of the city or their parents come from
the city. Yeah, they right there the PG.
So the parents, a lot of them still got the grit in them. So they they'll push it into their kid.
Which one you think is harder to do? This is my last question. I swear I'm gonna get it out. I got out of here. What you think is harder to do? The kid that come from the suburbs, that got to come play with a DC Assault based on grit and all that. He got this expectation of like, oh man, you from out such and such, man. You don't know nothing about this, because here we gonna judge you from where you from. That's just how it is. Are you from out Maryland? You from out VA? You from Waldorf or whatever the case may be? What do you think the difference want to fit in? The kid coming from the inner trenches trying to adapt to a DeMatha, or like the playing with the suburban kids, or the suburban kid trying to prove that he ain't that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like some of them kids from them $500,000 houses and all that, like, they be good in basketball, but they come around certain elements or certain racks, and then sometimes it's not on purpose, but we kind of make them feel less than, or like they feel like they got a point to prove because they do come from that $500,000 house. They don't have that same grit. Like how do you know what I'm saying? How do you, like, I don't really know the question I'm asking, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
I really believe it's all about what's behind the kid, regardless of where he from.
Okay.
Okay, because, we look back in history. Grant Hill, father played in the NFL. He lived in Great Falls.
I about to say Jern Grant. Jern that played with me, all them, Jern, Quinn, Vic, all them had.
But it's, even like with Quinn coming to play for DC Assault, there was a level of toughness that he was going to have to get, and that we were going to push in him. Nolan, we lived in a pretty nice home.
Yeah. But
Nolan knew that him and Mike living in the house together, you going to put this work in.
How was that dynamic? Because I hear Mike Beasley talk about all the time. Because, like, it's good seeing Mike Beasley get his flies now.
It was 9 days, but they were brothers.
That's every situation, though. Every, like I say, in this area, you got a dark skin friend, light skin friend. That's like they always go together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got the super chill dude who don't say nothing. You got the wild man that's just like, no, we ain't going like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got the real Malone test. So
they were good. Yeah. They were good, real good. I think they balanced each other. Mike was wow. Mike had Nolan being a little wild sometimes.
But you need that part. Like you need that balance.
It worked out perfect. It worked out. Them two, and they were brothers. They are brothers. They still are. But it worked out well.
That's crazy, Mo. You've had Nolan Smith, Mike Beasley, Quinn. It's all like the list goes on and on. You feel bad that when you start listening to names of the greats that come through the program, you feel like you're forgetting somebody. And I know you. I
always forget.
I know you hate to question somebody like, give me your all-time starting five from DC. It's all this, like all of them. I can interchange them. I don't know what you want to do. I need an AU team. Give me all 10 slots, and we could do that.
It's hard to pick a 10, because if you have five, and you could say, well, this person could be there. What about him right there? Why he not on the top five?
Let's do this. Let's do this question, and I swear I'm going through this. I'm gonna leave because I'll be here all day. I just want to. I did like when you really come from the area and you really got royalty and legendary people. You got to be from here to understand the impact of the area, the impact of like how y'all helped shape DC. I think people talk about basketball, but y'all was one of the forefronters of like swag and just the grit and putting DC on a major. Because when you go anywhere in the world, DC get respect from hooping, from the jails to everything. Like it just everything. Hey, what's one of them wild jail hood foods you ate?
Man, I ain't really eat a lot.
Oh, you had a hookup?
Nah, not really, man. We was getting steaks and shit from the.
I forgot who I was talking about. I forgot who I was talking to. He like, man,
food.
I was leaving good. What was the biggest adjustment getting locked up, and then what was the biggest adjustment? Because you see so many stories
not being able to eat Jerry seafood every day. 5-7 days a week.
Well, y'all used to eat that. What's that on Georgia Avenue? Y'all used to eat that.
Chris.
That was y'all spot. I know all the spots y'all used to ride up. I missed
it was hard.
Just being like a fly on the wall, just hearing all y'all stories, Mo. And people don't even understand the real, all the stories y'all got. Like this book ain't even big enough to tell a true story of Curtis Malone, DC Assault, the street life, the hustle life, the basketball life, the family man. Like, it's just so many levels to it. So I ain't gonna wrap y'all up no more. Get the book. It's all in the book. And if you a parent listening right now, what age group DC Assault got?
7th, 8th, and we're gonna have 9th, 10th, and 11th. High school and
they
middle
grades
school.
now?
Yeah, grades now.
Yeah, because I was cheating all them years, kept trying to get people to classify 18 playing this 16U.
Yeah.
They say, when they don't, grades
But
don't
they
help.
still reclass.
Yeah, because they about to say, that's even worse when they got grades. They don't need to, see, that's another thing that's different. Like, these kids reclassifying. Like, we had to play up.
No, we didn't.
Like, y'all made us play up. Like, we was kids, and you was like, nah, younger, you ain't playing no dad.
You could be 17 in the 16 going on 17, daggone there in the ninth, and you could play ninth grade because you're in ninth grade.
And these kids don't even know, like, bro, if you got to reclassify, you're not him.
Yeah.
You're not him. If you got to go back, you're not him, because there's somebody else that's ready to go 2 stages up and rock out.
Yeah.
All right, well, we out here, man. Appreciate you, Unc, man.
Appreciate you now.
There's so many things to get into, so many things to talk about. KYS.com, KYSDC.com is going to be at the real Curtis Malone or the Curtis Malone. And you know them old people on Facebook. So Miss Barbara, Shirley, and all y'all tap in with him on Facebook. He got you there. And he going to be on Madden. I'm man all around the world, Craig. So catch him at a stadium near you, practice near you, Curtis Malone. And then that right there, Duplicity. Curtis Malone shooting that's your jump shot?
Nah.
It's like,
nah.